What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my show, Zachary Reality, where we talk to TikTok stars, we talk about reality TV, and all the celeb pop culture news of the week. And I am joined with a very special guest, one of my best friends on TikTok, I think,
Yeah.
Morgan. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, yes, we are best friends on TikTok. It's fine.
Have you found that you have more friends on TikTok than in real life these days? Or is that just
100%. Yeah, because I've been working from home for a year. And like that's how I got into TikTok anyways. I can remember when it first came out, I was like, no, like it's just like middle schoolers dancing and like stuff that I just wasn't into. And then it took on a world of its own when I started doing housewives TikToks. And it's like you find people with similar interests. You bond so much quicker than if you were like in a work setting, forced to make friends with the person sitting in the cubicle next to you.
yeah,
So I feel like just with the pandemic and not being able to have any human interaction really,
thank
that's
God we have
why,
each other.
yeah, like you guys are some of my closest friends right now. And I love it. I love that TikTok brought us together.
Yeah, I think it's just with the customized FYP, and if you're on TikTok, you'll know what we're talking about. They really just have a way of bringing people together unlike any other social media platform. So
Yeah.
how did you kind of get into TikTok? Did you just like see other people doing housewives reviews and you're like, I want to do that? I know you work as like a radio host in real life, so kind of talk to me a little bit about how you got started in TikTok.
Yeah, so I mean, I would just post here and there, mainly to keep up with, what's going on in the world for my real job as a radio host, because we have to be up to date on pop culture. I work on it's like a hot AC, which is adult contemporary, which is Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Louis Capaldi, all of the ones that we're talking about on our TikTok pages. And so I was like, I'm doing this for work anyways. I'm getting more into TikTok. If I sat down and thought, what am I really like passionate about? Well, what are the TikToks that I watch? And I don't think I've ever told you this story. Whenever I was like in the beginning stages of making my Real Housewives TikToks, I remember you commented on one of them. I texted my boyfriend. I was like, Zachary Reality commented on my TikTok. I was freaking
Oh
out.
my God.
It was like, I was like, well, it's like you said, people are connecting with this stuff. And one thing that I have realized is when you find something that you're passionate about, it's hard to find something you're passionate about
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's still work. Like we love what we do, but making 2 to 3 to 5 TikToks a day is work.
And you work so hard on TikTok because you are the investigation police. Like my TikTok is like, I like to keep it comedy. I like to like give my opinions on things, but I feel like your TikTok, like you are investigating, you are doing research. The Erica Jane and Tom Girardi, all the drama between them. If I don't know what's going on, I am going right to your TikTok. I'm not going to any other news outlet. Like you just do your research.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. So
So
it's just
it is a job doing TikTok.
yeah.
It's definitely like a side hustle.
Yeah, when you're passionate about it, though, it doesn't feel as overwhelming as a regular job.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just one of those things that it genuinely came about in my life, and I'm super thankful for it.
Yeah, it's been a great way to keep busy while quarantining. Now, like I mentioned, we kind of bonded over our love for reality TV. That's what we mainly focus on our TikTok. So I want to kind of talk about some of the reality shows that we're watching this week, some of the reality TV news, and I feel like there's no better place to start than The Bachelor because it does start on Monday nights, which is the beginning of the week. So, oh my God. So let's just talk a little bit about this season first and Matt James and everything. So do you have like an immediate favorite? Because I feel like it's a little early for me to pick a favorite.
It is a little bit early, and I feel like we're still getting to know all the girls. So 1 second, one girl can be my favorite, and the next, another girl is my favorite. Obviously, I really love Abigail. It's a story that we haven't seen before, which I love new. It's interesting. She's very captivating to me. Yeah, so I liked her from the get-go. I also like MJ, the blonde with the big curly hair. Mostly I was watching out for her because she's from Ohio, Hudson, Ohio, which is similar to where I live in Cleveland. I mean, it's not like right around the corner, but I like her energy. I also really like Katie. Is that her name?
The dildo.
I didn't like her at first because it was a cute gimmick at first, right? But when you're going around all night poking people with things, and it might have just been a bad edit, I'll give her that much. But I think after seeing the situation with Sarah, how she handled it at the end, gave her some really redeeming qualities, and I really like her a lot.
Yeah. Now, talking about Katie, I actually have a personal vendetta against Katie.
Oh!
So Katie is the reason I was banned from TikTok Live for a week. I don't know. Remember I told you I got banned?
Yes. Yeah.
So when I was on TikTok Live, I was showing all the girls from The Bachelor on night 1. And
Right.
the green screen that I used had Katie and her dildo. So I ended up getting banned from TikTok Live because I had a picture of her with her dildo only for a week. So I'm kind of mad at Katie, even though it's my fault. I should have noticed. I have a personal thing against Katie. So everyone laughs. Everyone this week is they're like, Katie's our queen. She comforted Sarah. She's the best. I'm like, I'm so mad at her for getting me banned for a week.
Yeah.
But what did you think about Katie though, comforting Sarah? Because she was really getting ganged up on by all the girls. Like it was justified at first, but then they took it way too far.
I agree with you. And I think it's probably way easier to get sucked into that in the moment, when you're under that pressure of knowing that you're on national TV, having all this pent-up emotion, having to sit in a hotel with the same 30 girls constantly. I feel like it's very easy for things to escalate.
Yeah.
And you not use like your regular judgment. So I always try to kind of look at things through rose-colored glasses, if you will. But also, I don't see how one person could sit and watch 25 on one.
I was surprised how many girls were literally like speaking up to her. It wasn't just Kit and Victoria. Like a few, MJ and Serena, a lot of the other girls were chiming in. I'm like, why don't you think Sarah defended herself? Was she just like nervous? Was she upset? Like, I wonder why she couldn't still stand up for herself.
I think she probably knew that she was already
Leaving.
Looked at as like a villain, and she probably just felt over. I know if I were her and I was getting this tongue lashing from 25 people, I would feel overwhelmed. And it's like when you're overwhelmed like that, you probably don't process emotion or thoughts. And it's like she said, she feels like everybody hates her. She's got a pretty serious thing going on with her family, which I know people are talking about for a whole nother reason. But it would just be a lot. I feel like it would be easy to kind of break down emotionally and not be able to stand up for yourself under such crazy circumstances.
Because like if you've ever been in situations where you feel like people are ganging up on you, you always remember like later, a few hours later, you're like, oh, I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have defended myself. And I wonder if Sarah wishes that she maybe didn't even go home.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good
I just feel like she had one of the strongest connections in the house with Matt. I think she could have made top 4 easily.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I read a rumor online, and I don't know if this is true or not, that she was told she would be able to communicate with her family while she was there.
Well,
and then once she got there, she realized that she couldn't. And if I were in her situation, if I had a father who was getting ready to pass, you didn't know at any time, I would not be able to stay there, no matter how much I was into the guy.
absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of people are talking about, is she going to come back? Is she not going to come back? When I heard Matt say, they were breaking up, he kind of said something along the lines of, you're going to find a guy one day who's going to
she'll be back.
So then I'm like, no, I don't think she's coming back.
You don't think?
No, because Matt, when they were breaking up, Matt said, you're going to find another guy. He already kind of gave it away.
I think she'll be back on Paradise. That's what I meant by that.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Matt James season. See, she could come back to Paradise, but then like, is she going to have the same feelings when she goes away to film that she did the first time with her dad? So I think it's somewhere her dad is in his health if she's going to go away. Because if she's going to go there and wish that she was thinking, if she was thinking about her dad the whole time in Paradise, then she shouldn't come. She shouldn't go.
Yeah, I agree with you. The way that she was speaking about it made it seem like the inevitable was kind of in the near future, which makes me think, you hate to talk like that about somebody's father, but if things were to happen the way that she was kind of portraying them, that she would be able to come back for Paradise and maybe have it be like a redemption story for her, like I left early, I went through all of this and now I'm back. So, I mean, time will tell. You never know.
Yeah, because a lot of the girls have kind of turned on her, especially Queen Victoria. So what are your thoughts on the Queen? I am starting to kind of like her a little bit.
Yeah, like she has moments. Like I thought it was really funny. Obviously, the first episode, nobody liked her, right? We
Not at
all were
all.
anti-Victoria.
Absolutely hated her.
So the second episode, she has her little quirky moments, like when Sarah and Katie are outside and Victoria comes up. I forget what she said, but it was something that made me laugh, and I was like, okay. But then again, the situation with Sarah in the like community room, I didn't like the
Yeah.
way it was just aggressive. It was aggressive.
It was a very aggressive, and it was part of me was like dying laughing when she was like, "You're no one knows
Yeah.
you. You're toxic."
Yeah.
I'm just like, and no one said anything. So I'm like, maybe Victoria really is speaking for the group. Maybe she does have a lot of friends in the house. But then I
Yeah.
also just felt like she was kind of mean
Yeah.
to Sarah. So I'm excited to see more of Queen Victoria. I think she is like the queen of the show right now. She's getting a lot of airtime. She's super funny. So I'm excited to see more of her. How far do you think she's actually going to make it on this season?
Oh gosh. I'll give her 2 more weeks.
Okay, I think that's fair. I don't think
Yeah.
she's going to make it that far. I don't think her and Matt's connection is that strong.
No,
Who do you
she's
think is
definitely
Matt's
staying
like?
with his producers.
Yeah, who do you think's Matt's like top? Let's say 3. Like, who do you think are like the top 3 front runners?
Bree. I think he's really into Bree. She just had a one-on-one, I think last 2 weeks
Last
ago.
week, yeah.
And she also is normally at the top of the pack when it comes to him handing out the
Which
roses.
is always like a key indicator where
Yeah.
people stand, and then they always give like someone like Victoria the last rose to add super suspense. They do that with every single villain.
Yeah. So I think Bree,
Okay.
it's one of those things because, he doesn't remember all their names. So the girls at the top are always like
Yeah.
the favorites, especially this early on. I haven't seen him yet, but I have a feeling that one of the new girls of the 5 that come in will be a front runner, because the only other person I can think of right now would be Sarah.
Well, a lot of people are saying Rachel. They think she's getting a lot of airtime and she has a strong connection.
Yeah, I agree that she does have a strong connection. I just haven't seen enough of her. And I think that I'm not good at picking things when I haven't actually seen the two of them interact like for more than 2 minutes on a little sit down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure she'll get a one-on-one soon. She just got the group date rose.
Right.
It's usually an indicator that you're going to get a one-on-one.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Serena P too. I love when she said she was falling into like with Matt, because you can tell that she's not just jumping the gun like somebody else we know that it blew up in their face this past week.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to transition into talking about that, because obviously we're both going to talk more as the season progresses on our TikToks, and I'm sure we'll have more chats. But obviously the big Bachelor news of the week is that Clare and Dale have officially split, and I feel like this story just keeps unraveling. Every news, there's Dale's statement, then there's Clare's statement, then maybe Dale was cheating, maybe Clare was in over her head. So how do you think this breakup, like what do you think really went wrong?
Well, it was rushed.
That's
If she would have just maybe taken her time, and I don't want to blame her completely, because I feel like Dale probably did take advantage of the situation that he was given, especially looking at his actions now, which I'll get into that in a minute. But Chris Harrison says trust the process for a reason. If every single bachelorette or bachelor went off with the first person they had an instant connection with, there wouldn't be a show. There wouldn't be so many bachelor marriages. There wouldn't be bachelor kids. Like, you have to trust the process and really vet these people out. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've said this on my TikTok a lot, that Clare was infatuated with Dale.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that it was true love, because in my opinion, in order to be in love with somebody, you have to see them through seasons and life changes, because you don't know how somebody is going to react to a stressful situation or a massive heartbreak or tragedy. I feel like in order to really deeply love and understand somebody, you have to see them through those life experiences and life changes. You can't do it in 6 days.
Yeah.
You just can't. And especially on a reality TV show set,
And you
6 days is not 6 days.
And you would think that someone who's been on the franchise as many times as her, I think this was her 5th like opportunity on the show. You think and being the oldest bachelorette ever, you think she would like come in with more experience. But my question is, do you think that she was tainted because of Corona and because her season got pushed back and she already got to see the guys? Do you think that maybe that played a part into her rushing out of there? Because I kind of think it did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been such a whirlwind the past 12 months that do any of us really have our best sense of judgment right now? Like, probably not.
Probably not, yeah.
So you're right. I just still have a little, I guess the critic in the back of my head always just thinks something about it is off to me, the way that Tayshia was so ready to come in, and something about it just doesn't sit right with me. But I do believe that Clare had very strong feelings for Dale, and I do believe that she probably is very heartbroken over it.
Absolutely. And I believe that Dale liked Clare at first, but I think that he just got rushed into the engagement because of the fact that he was on a show and Clare wanted to choose him. And then, I mean, Clare clearly is, she has a very overbearing personality, and I think he kind of just was maybe like trying to please her for a while. And a lot of people are saying that he had to stay with her for like just amount of time before this season picked up. Because a lot of these Bachelor couples, they have like a contract where they have to stay together for a certain amount of time, because that's when the money is rolling in, when you're like a new Bachelor couple. So now that Dale, I mean, it just feels like Dale, like you saw the paparazzi video of Dale talking about the breakup. If anyone hasn't seen that, check my TikTok. It's all over everywhere. And Dale just seems very unbothered. He definitely seems like he was ready to get out of there and that he was just not that into her at all.
And to me, it comes off as a level of arrogance that I don't like. You know what I mean? Like you said, very nonchalant. When you read Claire's statement and you realize that she probably was blindsided by the way that it all unfolded.
Yeah, she said that she heard about the mutual statement the same time we all did.
Right. And for him to be strolling around New York City, like,
and he totally called cool. Yeah, and he totally called the paparazzi on himself.
Like,
where's the paparazzi finding you in the biggest city in the country? Like, they're not looking for you, Dale. You're not like Gigi Hadid. Like, I feel like he planned that himself. Like, and he's totally. So, do you think he had another girlfriend? Because I definitely think he has other options around.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think
That's so sad, and it's so easy to call out Clare because of all crazy Clare and all these other things. But at the end of the day, I do believe she was led on a little bit. So I think that Dale has to take responsibility for leading her on, but I also think she came on too strong. So there's no way these two could have worked out.
It's like a perfect storm, It's just you have like you said, Clare, who was way too eager. You have Dale, who wanted his 15 minutes. He saw his opportunity. She saw her fairy tale ending, and it just.
Yes. So Bachelor in Paradise is coming back this summer. A lot of people are like, is Clare going to go? Is Dale going to go? We obviously have a lot of contestants to choose from over the past couple of years because we didn't get Paradise last summer. Do you have any predictions or any couple? Is anyone that you're shipping already for Bachelor in Paradise?
I don't want Clare to go to Bachelor in Paradise.
She won't go. There's no way.
I don't
think Dale will go either.
No, I don't want Dale. You know who I want to be together is Jason from Clare's season and Kendall Long. I think they would be very cute together.
Okay, that's a different type of ship. I feel like Kendall's kind of removed from Bachelor Nation.
You think?
She's been gone for a few years. We don't usually get those. Usually it's like the most recent seasons when they're on Paradise.
I read that she was in the running to be the Bachelorette when they picked Clare and Tayshia. That she was like third or fourth. So I feel like maybe they will. Sometimes they throw a curveball in there. Who do you ship? I want to know.
Oh my God. I mean, I definitely want to see like Hannah Ann there. Yeah. And Victoria F and Kelsey, a lot of Peter's girls. There was a lot of drama there. I also want to see like Kit. I want to see Queen Victoria there. I'm kind of shipping Hannah Ann and Ben.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think that's like a couple that I can ship, but I also feel like there's Bennett. I want to see him with someone. I want to see Noah and Kit together as well.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
I think it'll be a very good season. Have you always watched Bachelor in Paradise?
Yeah, I have. I want to see Ivan and Katie Morton. I want to
Is she
see
the
that.
dildo girl?
Huh?
Katie the
No,
dildo.
no, no.
Oh, Chris's Katie from
Yeah,
last season.
which she's kind of
Yeah.
removed too, but I
I
would
feel
like
like
to see
they
that.
don't, when people already get engaged on Paradise, I feel like why would they want to
They
come
have
back
to come
again
back.
and go through that experience, you know,
Yeah.
especially when it doesn't work out.
What about maybe Ivan and Bree from this season? If
Unless
she
Matt
does,
picks Brie.
yeah, unless Matt picks Bree.
Or Brie could be the next Bachelorette as well. We have to see how the rest of the season plays out. And we also are going to have another season of The Bachelorette before Paradise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just a lot of Bachelor content. I feel like it never ends,
Doesn't.
ever. But one of our other favorite, I guess you could say, franchises is just the Housewives franchise in general. Right now we have Atlanta on, we have Dallas on, we have Salt Lake City and Orange County all airing this week. Are you watching all of those shows? Which one is kind of your favorite?
Oh gosh, I am watching all of them, and actually, my favorite show that's on right now is Southern Charm.
Southern Charm.
I don't know why this season I have not been able to get into any of the Housewives franchises. And I feel like maybe it's got to do with COVID. At first, I thought I wouldn't like to see people reliving COVID, which to an extent I don't. But then on the other end, I do like to see how some of our favorite housewives, the ones that we've been invested in, had to deal with it the same way that we had to deal with it. However, I just feel like all of the housewives in general right now are lacking substance. And is that because they can't be around each other as much? Is it because they're confined to their 2 to 3 people bubbles and they're stuck in their houses? It just feels empty to me, not like the normal seasons that we have come to know and love.
And absolutely. And I think a lot of the parties and events are just not as extravagant because they have to have intimate parties. We just saw Cynthia's engagement dinner on the last season of Atlanta. They can only have a certain amount of people there, and it minimizes the amount of pizzazz on Housewives, which is why we watch it. But I think we also have to agree that we still love Housewives.
Oh, for sure.
Regardless, and we're going to watch regardless. So I kind of want to just talk about the Orange County reunion.
Okay.
Because part 1, I think, made up for the lack of this season, which was just not very good. So what were your overall thoughts of the Orange County reunion, and who are you loving right now on OC?
Okay. I love Gina, and I always have loved Gina.
Me too. I love Gina.
Ever since she came on, I just loved her and her New York accent. And
she's from Long Island, just like me.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that's where you were from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love her. I am loving Emily this season too. It took me a while to warm up to her. And Shane. We're totally seeing a different side to Shane this season. I love
Shane. I always have loved Shane.
You even loved him when Kelly called him.
Yeah. I think Shane is hilarious. I love a good house husband. We're getting to see a lot of the house husbands on OC this year. Who is your favorite house husband on OC?
Ooh.
Because they're probably going to come in for part 2 or 3.
Yeah. I would say Shane, but also I feel bad for Sean. And so Sean has a soft spot in my heart. You know what I'm saying?
We obviously have to talk about Bronwyn and Sean. And you know what? I actually don't feel bad. I feel bad for Sean, but I also feel like he's such a pushover.
Yeah.
He's just not, your wife of 20 years says she's never been attracted to you. Now she's dating another girl. You're clearly paying all of the bills.
Yeah.
It feels like she's almost taking advantage of him now, and because he's just so nice. Do you see that the way I see that? Yeah,
and maybe that is why I have a soft spot for him, because I feel bad for him, But it's after 20 years, you have to become a little codependent, I'm sure. And I feel like he's just as codependent on her as she was on him when it comes to her sobriety and stuff. So I don't know. I just feel bad for him, especially having to deal with all these monumental life shifts on national television.
Yeah. I also feel like he's living for it just as much as someone is.
I mean, she said on the reunion that she's an addict, and they were quick to point out that she is addicted to fame.
Yeah.
So they both
I want to kind of ask about that. I feel like all of the girls have turned on Bronwyn this season, and we don't really get to see it on the show as much. It feels like a lot played out on social media. A lot of the girls have almost cornered Bronwyn into not coming back next season. But on the other side, Bronwyn she's sitting right next to Andy. It's only her second season. She has gotten most of the airtime. She's the main storyline. I feel like she's been super open and vulnerable about her sexuality and her sobriety. So where do you kind of stand on Bronwyn and all the other girls kind of turning on her? Are you team Bronwyn or are you team everyone else?
So I feel like, kind of like you said, there has to be something that we don't see that all the housewives do see. Maybe it's something that wasn't filmed. Maybe it's the chit chat afterwards. Maybe it's Newport gossip that's going around in their town that's not accessible to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that filming Housewives has to be extremely difficult for Bronwyn when she is going through such major life shifts. Like I said, dealing with alcoholism is hard enough without the world criticizing your every move. I also think that when you are just starting to get sober, and I've never had to deal with alcoholism myself. I know people close to me that have. Yeah. I'm sure that you don't act like you normally would. You lash out at different people for different things. Your body is detoxing. And so I don't know. Do I think reality TV is best for her to go through those changes?
I mean, you could argue it is, though. You could argue it is because she's figuring it all out on camera, and her story is almost so captivating. A lot of people have been pushing for her to even have her own spin-off show.
Yeah. And then you have the flip side of someone like Kelly saying that it's contrived and fake because she wants her own spin.
Exactly. And I almost see both sides, and I don't even know if I like Bronwyn or not. Like, I genuinely can't figure out if I'm team Bronwyn or team everyone else. Do you are you on one side or the other? Do you love Bronwyn? Do you stan her?
I'm pretty indifferent too. I think my allegiances lie with Emily and Gina because I feel like they're the most level-headed, especially Emily. I feel like Emily really does always pick and choose her battles. She's not really like the drama starter. So I feel like if they're seeing something maybe that I'm not seeing, I'm going to trust their opinion over Kelly's opinion, Shannon's opinion, and what Bronwyn is putting out there.
Absolutely. So what do you think about Kelly calling out Andy? Andy was doing his job, trying to hold her accountable. That's what the fans want to know. There has been thousands and thousands of tweets, boycott OC, cancel OC, and I'm going to ask you next what you think the future of the show is. But what do you think about Kelly kind of firing back at Andy? How do you think she handled the reunion?
I mean, would we expect anything less? Would you expect Kelly to ever answer a direct question without getting defensive?
Yeah, she's very deflective.
Because even when people are coming at her on social media, it's the same response always. She's never going to have a level-headed, well-thought-out, diplomatic answer. It's always going to be,
well, you did this, you did that.
Yeah, exactly.
It just feels like she hasn't learned or understood. Like, even when Andy asked her about wearing masks and the whole Drunk Wives Matter situation, it just feels like she still has not, it just hasn't clicked with her.
She has a hard time admitting that she's wrong in any scenario, Yeah,
so do you think that they can bring her back next season? And where do you think the future of OC lies? Because this is definitely just not the best cast right now.
Yeah. I don't know. My gut reaction is that they won't bring her back.
Really? You think I think she is integrated well in the show right now. She has a lot of friends on the cast. Because
I feel like, I don't know, I didn't watch all of it, the Watch What Happens Live after when she was on it. Did you see when she was on it? I heard there was a lot of friction between her and Andy. Is that true?
There is, but there was also a lot of friction at the reunion, which you and I saw this week.
And I feel like if you get to a certain place with Andy, then it's just not going to be good for you. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I can see that, but I also feel like there's been plenty of housewives who've called out Andy before at reunions. Like Teresa pushed Andy. Ramona had a lot of back and forth with Andy. So I don't necessarily
think we're living in a different time, the nation is much more aware of like what's right and wrong.
What's wrong. And what's celebrated now on the show or what was celebrated 10 years ago will not be, it's just not acceptable behavior anymore. So you really think Kelly will go next season?
I'm thinking if Stassi and Kristen are going to go. Kelly's probably going to go too. If Jax is going to go, they yeah, I feel like Kelly will probably follow suit in what happened with Jax and Brittany.
And
where they're not going to come out and say,
well, that's what they always do. Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, what I'm looking forward to is this always happens after the reunion. That's when Monique announced she was leaving. The Housewives always announced they're leaving after part 3.
Yeah.
So we won't know for a couple more weeks what that future is. But do you think they should cancel OC, or do you think it can continue?
No, I don't think they should cancel it. Do you?
Kind of. I think it's run its course. But I also think they're still getting a lot of ratings because a lot of the old school Housewives love it so much still because it's like the OG.
Yeah. I can guarantee you, I mean, I don't know if I would want this to happen, but if they brought Tamra back, their ratings would go through the roof.
Yeah, and Tamra is open to coming back. I was just watching her on Danny Pellegrino's podcast a few days ago. Like, she's open to coming back and starting up some drama.
She's always in the background of things. Have you noticed that? Like, even this season and on social media, Tamra's always looming.
She was on the show for so long. But the thing I'm most interested in is the fallout between Shannon, Vicky, and Tamra. That's more interesting than any of the fake drama that's happening on the show.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would be really interested to see if they brought Tamra back, because then Shannon, that would be a big head-on battle, you know, Shannon versus Tamra.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it's one of the oldest franchises, so I personally don't know if it's – I don't think it should return for another season. But we also have this new Housewives franchise, Salt Lake City. Me and you both were super excited about it when it first started. I'm still very much enjoying it. It's definitely – it's renewed for a second season, which I'm excited about. What are your overall thoughts on Salt Lake City? Who's your favorite?
Oh, Heather obviously is my favorite. And Whitney. And you know what? You're going to call me crazy, but I actually do like Lisa. I like her personality. I like what she brings. I just don't think we see enough of it. And we haven't until this point in the show, you know, and I think
we haven't seen her be vulnerable, or we haven't seen her cry. Like, you know, we haven't seen that softer side to her. I feel like she puts on a front.
Yeah. I feel like Salt Lake City is the most impacted by the girls really not meshing together. You know, it's a brand new cast. I feel like you have Whitney and Heather over here. You have Meredith and Lisa over here. You have Jen somewhere over here, and then you have Mary all the way in the corner who doesn't
left the show.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like Jen is the one that really brings the group together, and I think Jen is Salt Lake City. Like, she is the queen of the show. Whether she's the most likable or not, she is the Teresa. Like, she's the Bethany. Like, Jen needs to be back next season, and I think Jen just needs to kind of take a chill pill.
Yeah, to
like,
put it nicely.
She goes from 0 to 1,000 real quick, and it's just it's very unwarranted how angry she is. There's a preview next episode where they were going to some type of therapist or whatever, all the girls, and somebody asked, and the therapist asked, "Do you trust Jen?" And all 4 of the girls raised their hand and said that they did not trust her.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Well, what do you think of Jen?
Well, people always hate the most dramatic, right? They hate Rinna, they hate Kelly, they hate Jen Shah, you know, because of whatever.
Or is it because they're taking over the show, though?
What'd you say?
Is it because they're taking over the show? Like, Jen is the
show. Yeah, probably.
The other housewives must realize that she has the biggest personality.
Yeah, and maybe because people don't like the way that they react to things. And I will say that I did not like the way Jen reacted at Sharif's birthday party, right?
Yeah.
We can all see there's huge red flags. But like Andy said about some other castmates, you want to see those people through their situations. You don't want to just chop them off and cancel them and not see, because normal people go through the same struggles, right? So if you're invested in these characters, you want to see them through those struggles in their life to get to the other side. So I am very excited to see the therapist episode with all of them, because I feel like we are going to have a little bit of a breakthrough when it comes to what's really triggering Jen, which I'm excited to see.
And I think the reunion will be amazing and like therapeutic as well, which will be coming up in just a couple weeks.
I don't think Mary's going to be back. Do you?
I was going to ask you. It feels like she's kind of written herself off the show. She hasn't really gone on the cast trip. She's not filming scenes. No one's really inviting her anywhere, or if they are, she's not going. Yeah. And she was on Watch What Happens Live a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you watched it, but she basically said that she hasn't even watched the recent episodes.
Yeah, I feel like she probably didn't fully know what she was signing up for.
Yeah. Like
And
she's never even seen Bravo before in her life.
You listen to all like the podcasts that the housewives do, and I hate when they say that, right? Like, oh, I've never seen an episode. Really, you've never seen an episode, but you're going on the show. But I feel like Mary truly did not know what she was signing up for. I think she got a lot of backlash right from the jump, with her story. It's not the most typical story, especially when people start doing some digging and finding some other things. And at the end of the day, that's her business. And it probably has greatly affected her business. And I don't think she anticipated that.
I don't think she knew what she was getting into. I don't even know if she even wants to be on the show. So I think when we get to the reunion and we see how that kind of plays out and what Mary has to say, then we can kind of determine if she's going to be back next season. I don't think she should come back unless she shows some sort of like genuine authenticity that she even wants to be there.
Yeah.
She's
I mean, this was a long time ago that I had a casting director DM me on Instagram. I mean, 3 months ago, saying that they were already casting for season 2 of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
So
we need a new life.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're just adding or if they are getting rid of some and kind of shifting things around, but I don't think we're going to see Mary Crosby again.
I don't think we'll see Mary. Maybe like friend of maybe a couple episodes, but I definitely think Housewives of Salt Lake City, I think they need a new wife. And then I think everyone else should be able to stay except for Mary because she just doesn't want to be there.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So are you watching Atlanta this season as well?
Yeah, I am.
So what are this is starting off very, very slow. And I think what Atlanta is missing right now is that there isn't like that one person bringing the group together. It just seems so like all over the place, divided. I know a lot of people are quarantined. Like it kind of seems like a little bit of a mess right now. What are your thoughts on Atlanta?
You don't have the Nenes, what everyone's going to say, right? I don't know that I do miss Nene in her humor, but I also feel like there comes a point where these housewives, you can tell when they're over it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Nene was so over it that you could tell she didn't want to be around. And that's not enjoyable to watch as a viewer. Somebody who doesn't want to be at the reunions, doesn't want to answer Andy's questions, doesn't want to resolve anything with the girls.
Well, now she's like completely bashed Andy and Bravo. So, I mean, like she's never coming back.
Right. So I am looking forward to the upcoming episodes because we're getting into Cynthia's bachelorette party, which we know that's what the whole season is going to be about anyway.
So who are your
and I don't know.
Like what? Apparently there's like these 2 people that slept with the stripper. Fans online were saying that it was Portia and Tanya, but if you're watching this season, you might notice there is a connection and some sexual energy between LaToya and Kenya. So what are your predictions for Cynthia's bachelorette party?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you caught it, but at the end of Sunday's episode, they said the next couple of weeks. So I'm thinking that Cynthia's bachelorette party isn't going to be just one episode. It might be 2 or 3 episodes. So, yeah, it's like you said, everyone was assuming that it was Portia and Tanya. Now, I remember the report that Tanya stopped filming after that happened. So something definitely happens with her that makes her kind of abort mission.
I hate when the housewives stop filming. I feel like it's your contract, it's your job. Stick through it when times get tough. Denise obviously did this last year. Other housewives have done this, where Mary has done this. Isn't that the most frustrating thing as a viewer?
Oh, yeah. It's a bailout, like
Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating when housewives bail out halfway through the season just because they don't like the way it's going.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is what they sign up for essentially, is to show their life, not show the highlight reel of your life. We want the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to see what is really happening, not just when you go through a season and know you can get a good edit out of it.
Absolutely.
So I have heard rumors too that LaToya and something does go on between them as well. So maybe it's more than one. Maybe we have a couple different. Maybe it's a chain reaction where it starts with Portia and Tanya and the stripper, and then kind of moves into.
Oh my God, we got a whole orgy going on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, something to look forward to. I feel like this season is just a little slow. There's just not as much to talk about with Atlanta right now, so it's just a little slow. Now, you mentioned to me earlier you're not watching Real Housewives of Dallas, which is the other Housewives show airing. Why are you not watching?
I just have never gotten into Dallas. And, you know, on my TikTok page, everyone, when the trailer came out for this past season, people were like, please do a deep dive on the trailer. And I was like, I didn't want to come out and disappoint everyone and be like, guys, I don't watch Dallas. So I told myself around Christmas time that I was going to at least watch the season before this season so that I could at least understand the main characters, what was going on in their personal lives. And I just could not get into it. And I don't know what it was. I watched the first episode of the new season. So like I've seen Tiffany, which I love her.
I'm sure you've seen her on TikTok as well.
No, I haven't. I didn't even know she had a TikTok.
Oh my God, she's a queen on TikTok. She has like so many followers, and she's just like, I saw her on TikTok way before Dallas even premiered.
Really? I'm going to have to follow her as soon as
you have to check her out.
But
so I really like watching because she's the new housewife and she's bringing a lot of great energy to the show. But it's definitely not the strongest Housewives franchise. It's not Beverly Hills. It's not New York.
Yeah, and I think there's so many franchises that to me, Dallas just gets kind of lost. You know, there's not really like a breakout star, or is there? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
There was Leanne. She definitely was the breakout star, but then she kind of had to get let go. Right now, Stephanie Holman is kind of like the OG.
I like Stephanie. And that's the one thing I can remember about, you know, when I say I watched it as I was taking down my Christmas decorations and heard what was going on in the background. But Stephanie was my favorite. You know, she was really open and vulnerable about her struggles in life, which I appreciated. Mm-hmm. But I just could not get like connected to any of the other storylines.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely give it a try. Like this, just try and watch a couple episodes, even if you're not paying attention. Maybe you'll warm up to it, at least to know what's going on.
Yeah,
I completely understand that. Now, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the trailer has dropped. It's explosive. It was out a couple weeks ago. You know, it's my favorite franchise. Are you a big Jersey fan?
I love Jersey. It's definitely top 3.
What are your thoughts on the trailer?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think it's so telling that Jersey has not had to have a cast change in like 3 seasons.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, so that's when you know you have something good here with the people that you're working with. And I also like that we saw so many, it wasn't just centered around one particular thing. You know, there was Teresa's storyline with her dating. There was arguments with Melissa and Joe that we haven't really seen before. Yeah. There was Jennifer's drama. I like that there was so many.
Marge was yelling at her husband. Then Teresa's fighting Melissa and Joe, which is like the best.
Yeah.
Rez and Judices go at it. I mean, Jersey's just elite, I think, just because of all the family and the heart that it is.
Yeah. So to me, that tells me that it's not just going to be a 2-episode like hook. You know, it's going to be a whole season, not like in Atlanta where you're sitting around waiting for Cynthia's bachelorette party. Like we're going to have consistent storylines throughout the whole season, which is going to make it so much more enjoyable to watch. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now we're going to start heading out of this interview, but I do want to know, what do you think about Erica and Tom?
Oh my God.
You are the expert. If anyone is watching, go to her TikTok if you need the rundown. Like, what are your like quick 60-second thoughts on Erica and Tom right now?
I think that Erica probably did not know as much as Tom did. I don't know if she didn't know any of it. I think that Tom probably said, Erica, this is your bank account. You pay for your glam squad. You do whatever you want. You use this credit card. I don't know. I don't think she knew what he was funneling into that credit card, because for 22 years, you got millions of dollars. You start to not even notice when something is being taken out of your account or not. Mm-hmm. I do think, however, that she's acting very strange these days.
On Instagram, she's posting a lot, I think, to distract us.
Posting excessively on Instagram, also being kind of rude to fans.
Yes.
You know, the whole meme situation was not great.
And like she used to be so beloved her first couple seasons, and then she just became extremely cold. So what do you predict of her on next season? It's going to be season 11. Do you think she's going to be open and vulnerable and let her guard down, Or do you think, you know, fans are just going to continue to distance themselves from her? Because she could be the next Teddy.
Yeah, I think that she's going to remain the ice queen. I think that she's not going to let us see her sweat. I think that she'll talk about it, but I don't think that she will get emotional about it. I think we'll probably see a bit of a PR stunt, like facade out of her, and not
we always
like
get that on Beverly Hills, I guess.
yeah, and not like I'm devastated that my husband was cheating on me and stole money from orphans. Like, and she definitely will skirt around the legalities of it. I mean, obviously that is true in some aspects that she can't speak on some things legally.
Yeah.
But you can speak on things without getting into the legality. Am I making sense? Like,
yeah, 100%.
She can still address it and make a picture perfect, crystal clear message for us without getting into the legality of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she will. I hope that she does. I
hope
think
she
that
does.
will.
I want to see a more vulnerable side to her. I want to see a different layer to her, for sure.
If she does, I think it'll be her redemption story.
Absolutely. Because like I mentioned, a lot of people are just starting to turn on her.
Yeah,
It's happening. So everyone needs to go check out Morgan on TikTok. She is Housewives Queen, reality TV queen. Morgan, what is your TikTok and what else do you talk about on there besides Housewives? Is Housewives your main thing?
So it's at Morgan PW. I talk about the Kardashians, talk about the Housewives. I'm just a huge reality TV person. So Southern Charm, any reality shows. Whenever Survivor comes back, I will talk about Survivor
because Survivor chats.
That is definitely
reality TV as a whole. You pretty much cover like a wide variety of shows.
Yeah, Bachelor, all the good stuff.
That's so awesome. Now, obviously, we have met before. We've talked for weeks. We have some more collabs coming. We're definitely going to do this again. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Make sure you guys check Morgan out on TikTok. Check me out on TikTok, Zachary Reality. And join us, maybe next time for some more reality TV obsessions. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.